caller can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Oh, my name is Bright Daniel. I'm calling you from New York.
Bright Daniel. It's a very beautiful name.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Thank you. I have a question.
Go ahead.
My question goes like this. Is there in any way, this is just like a reassurance, because our eternal leader, Tim Odumegwu Ojukwu, whom people were really hoping on, that when he will come back, that he will bring back Biafra.
Yes.
But lo and behold, he came back, and people lured him to Nigeria.
Yes.
People lured him to being, because to me, I still believe that Tim Odumegwu Ojukwu has not been buried. Because when I see them covering his coffin with Nigerian flag, I feel so bad. So my question to you is this. Is there in any way that you will be ever lured into agreeing to anything Nigerian? That's number one question.
No, hold on to your questions, because we are going to have a conversation. You raised an issue that I've been expecting people to raise for a long time. There's sometimes maybe we forget, or when we call, we become over exuberant and we forget. You have raised, keep your other questions, don't forget them, please. Let me answer this one you've just raised. Our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu, was in Ivory Coast. Even as a child, I was hoping, the stories my father used to tell me, I felt that one day this Messiah is going to come, from Ivory Coast and save everybody. That was what I used to think as a child. I used to think that Ojukwu will come back one day and all of us will be saved, right? It didn't happen that way. And I will tell you what happened. It is exactly what they have tried to do to me. Exactly the same thing. I had meeting with governors and with some elders. They said you must renounce. Oh my God, there's a way you do it. You do this, you do that, you contest, you float political party, you have the followership, people will vote you in, maybe you can become a senator, or maybe you have your state governor. You know the same rubbish. And I said no. They asked me why am I saying no? Why do I keep saying? I said to them, because the man that I revere and respect, Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu, you promised him the same thing. He came back, he was then and still till now the most popular man in the whole of the Sioux political space in Nigeria. He came back in Nnewi, he lost election to a non-entity. Senatorial election, he contested and he failed. They rigged him out. I know those who were instrumental in rigging out Ojukwu. So the same thing they're asking us to do now, IPOB, they asked our leader to do, Ojukwu. He did it and they rubbished him, they messed him up. You know what the Fulani said after that? They said, oh, look at the man you call your icon. He's your leader, he's your general, he led you in war. Look at him, ordinary Nnewi senatorial district, he couldn't win. He failed to the man called on Woodiwe. Go and look at it anywhere. So that you see, I am a student of history. I allow myself to be guided by history, what has happened in the past. But when they call BBC to talk about their rubbish Igbo presidents, all that garbage, they never remind them that our leader came back, they lured him into zoo politics. That was why I said no to zoo politics. But you know one thing our people are very good at? Once they give you advice that is wrong and you say no, they'll go and say, oh, he doesn't listen to people, he doesn't want to hear he doesn't listen to advice. Whenever they're saying somebody doesn't listen to advice, it's because that person has failed to compromise. These are the things I want our people, our hardcore Biafrans to understand, because they're the ones that will lead us to freedom, not all the flavors by the side. It is the hardcore that will lead us to freedom, not the idiots by the side. Do you understand? They have given me everything and I said no. They came to DSS to give me, I said no. They came to prison, I said no. They came to my house, I said no. They called me governor's meeting, I said no, I don't want anything. All I want is freedom. All I want is Biafra. Why do you think I had issues with Chifuni? Why do you think I had issues with him? Because of the same thing. I said, that way people are going, Ojukwu went that way. They rubbished him, Look at Imo State. See what they did to Hedra in Imo State. The same political process. You join, after a while, you vote. After voting, they declare whoever they like as their winner, and that's the end of the game. So I will never join any zoo politics. I will never stop fighting for Biafra. Listen to me very carefully. My father, my mother died as a result of this. I have lost men as a result of this. IPOB family members that I was close to have died. They did not die for one Nigeria. They did not die for Nigerian party politics. They died fighting for freedom. And that freedom we are going to.
I want you people to understand that the liberation of Biafra has entered the highest stage in the history of Biafra. Not even during the war. I am telling you, it has entered the highest stage ever. And we are going to do everything humanly possible in this life to restore Biafra. Everything humanly possible will be done. And I want you people to understand that the Biafra liberation is step by step, segment by segment, plan by plan, executions by execution. We'll be executing those plans according to the template till the last one. And Biafra.
Let us go talk about the objective of your struggle and how do you intend to achieve it in practical terms?
In practical terms, it is civil disobedience. The same way that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. accomplished civil rights in America, the same way that Mahatma Gandhi led India to independence out of British colonial rule, the same principles we are applying, and might I add, very successfully too. We will do everything possible to unravel and unshackle the zoo called Nigeria. Everything humanly possible. No stone will be left unturned. We will sacrifice everything sacrificable. Material, life, blood will throw into.
And we will do everything humanly possible to see the Biafra.
ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị kunye ka ọ gaa ubi gaa rụọ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị pụta anyị kpọpụ onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọ bụla anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha gaa n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọya nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra ndị kọstọm sokwenye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm juru ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwuo sịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwuo sịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị anya ka isi na-ekwu ndị iro anyị n'anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizọba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro dị na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ bịa ka iwe dịtụ ozu ọgbọgọwa memilere Goliath Chineke nna nke igwe ruo memile Fero sikwa otu a mee ka Fero ka ọ guzo n'ihu ụmụ ndị IPOB ka o wee taa akwụkwọ igiri ọtọ ọzọ ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ ọ bụ nwa bụ ekekere n'igwe n'ụwa nwunye ọbụla kere gị n'oge malite n'oge ọgwụgwụ kama anyị onwe anyị gwa anọkwa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie kama ma akpọ na okwu gị na-anọgide ego mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka iwe gosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka iwe mee ka ebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị ma egbuchi oke abịa ma
I have another caller on the line. This caller can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Oh, my name is Bright Daniel. I'm calling you from New York.
Bright Daniel. It's a very beautiful name.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I have a question.
Go ahead.
My question goes like this. Is there in any way, this is just like a reassurance, because our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu, whom people were really hoping on, that when he will come back, that he will bring back Biafra.
Yes.
But lo and behold, he came back, and people lured him to Nigeria.
Yes.
People lured him to being, because to me, I still believe that Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu has not been buried. Because when I see them covering his coffin with Nigerian flag, I feel so bad. So my question to you is this. Is there in any way that you will be ever lured into agreeing to anything Nigerian? That's number one question.
No, hold on to your questions, because we are going to have a conversation. You raised an issue that I've been expecting people to raise for a long time. There's sometimes maybe we forget, or when we call, we become over exuberant and we forget. You have raised, keep your other questions, don't forget them, please. Let me answer this one you've just raised. Our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu, was in Ivory Coast. Even as a child, I was hoping, the stories my father used to tell me, I felt that one day this Messiah is going to come, excuse me, from Ivory Coast and save everybody. That was what I used to think as a child. I used to think that Ojukwu will come back one day and all of us will be saved, right? It didn't happen that way. And I will tell you what happened. It is exactly what they have tried to do to me. Exactly the same thing. I had meeting with governors and with some elders. They said you must renounce. There's a way you do it. You do this, you do that, you contest, you float political party, you have the followership, people will vote you in, maybe you can become a senator, or maybe you have your state governor, you know, the same rubbish. And I said no. They asked me why am I saying no? Why do I keep saying? I said to them, because the man that I revere and respect, Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu, you promised him the same thing. He came back, he was then and still till now the most popular man in the whole of the Sioux political space in Nigeria. He came back in Nnewi, he lost election to a non-entity. Senatorial election, he contested and he failed. They rigged him out. I know those who were instrumental in rigging out Ojukwu. So the same thing they're asking us to do now, IPOB, they asked our leader to do, Ojukwu. He did it and they rubbished him, they messed him up. You know what the Fulani said after that? They said, oh, look at the man you call your icon. He's your leader, he's your general, he led you in war. Look at him, ordinary Nnewi senatorial district, he couldn't win. He failed to a man called Onwudiwe. Go and look at it anywhere. So that, you see, I am a student of history. I allow myself to be guided by history, what has happened in the past. But when they call BBC to talk about their rubbish Igbo presidents for that challenge, they never remind them that our leader came back, they lured him into Sioux politics. That was why I said no to Sioux politics. But you know one thing our people are very good at? Once they give you advice that is wrong and you say no, they'll go and say, oh, he doesn't listen to people, he doesn't want to hear he doesn't listen to advice. Whenever they're saying somebody doesn't listen to advice, it's because that person has failed to compromise. These are the things I want our people, our hardcore Biafrans to understand, because they are the ones that will lead us to freedom, not all the flavors by the side. It is the hardcore that will lead us to freedom, not the idiots by the side. Do you understand? They have given me everything and I said no. They came to DSS to give me. I said no. They came to prison, Kuje. I said no. They came to my house. I said no. They called me governor's meeting. I said no. I don't want anything. All I want is freedom. All I want is Biafra. Why do you think I had issues with Chifumi Awodo? Why do you think I had issues with him? Because of the same thing. And I said that way people are going. Ojukwu went that way. They rubbished him. Look at Imo State. See what they did to him in Imo State. The same political process. You join, after a while, you vote. After voting, they declare whoever they like as their winner, and that's the end of the game. So I will never join any zoo politics. I will never stop fighting for Biafra. Listen to me very carefully. My father, my mother died as a result of this. I have lost men as a result of this. IPOB family members that I was close to have died. They did not die for one Nigeria. They did not die for Nigerian party politics. They died fighting for freedom. And that freedom we
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this very quick evening program. I appreciate everyone that has connected wherever you are connecting from. Please like and share to all platforms, share to family and friends. Wish you a very happy Sunday. It is Sunday afternoon, and we are having our Sunday sermon as always. As you know, we are still trying to be able to fix up in the new year and continue what we have been doing. So, as we always conduct our Sunday sermon on Biafra restoration, today we will doing the same thing we have always done, and we encourage you to be patient with us. Try to invite someone to join us on this very powerful exposition. It is going to be very, very amazing and powerful, and you need to be here to join us in this very program, and also to make your own contributions, and say your own views. It is a time for us to express our feelings. It's a time for us to express what we feel and what we think. And we will continue to take this message to the highest level. As we have come today to deliver this message, please, wherever you are watching us from, try as much as possible to exercise patience with us and join us from the beginning to the end. I bet you'll be glad you did. You are going to learn a lot from the message of today, and we expect to learn a lot from you also. So wherever you are joining from, share and make sure you invite someone to join us. It is a beautiful Sunday. As you can see, many people are going their places. Some people are still in the church. Some are preparing to go to the church, and some are back from the church. So whichever angle you are, whichever location you are, I urge you to try as much as possible to pay attention to whatever we are doing, and make sure you play your own role and play your own part, because we are trying as much as possible to carry everybody along and continue the quest for freedom, regardless the challenges, the obstacles, the temptations, and lies that is coming from the pit of hell. We will challenge those lies. We will challenge it undeterred. So wherever you are watching us from, I urge you to please continue to play your own part, play your own role. Make your own contribution where necessary and do what you have to do. So I wish you all, more especially our Christian brothers and sisters, a very happy Sunday. It is a beautiful Sunday, and I expect that every one of us is doing well wherever we are. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. And from my end, I say good evening, brothers and sisters, wherever you are. Good evening to the people of the world and those that matters, those that still believe in the truth. It is a Sunday broadcast, and we are going to give our broadcast a Sunday sermon as it's supposed to be. And before we go into the Sunday summer, we will start it forward from permission and always know, we pray in everything that we do. We commit in the hand of Chukwu Kabiama. Whatever we do, we put it forward before Chukwu Kabiama to take absolute control. So we are starting this very program by committing it into the hand of Chukwu Kabiama. Father of truth and light, open our eyes to see clearly, open our ears to hear honestly, and give us courage to speak truth without fear. Amen. Tonight is not a polite political rally. Tonight is not a tribal debate. Tonight is not the usual things you normally see, but tonight is a sermon on truth. We are going to speak the truth and nothing but the truth, because when truth is manipulated, peace disappears. Whenever truth is manipulated, peace disappears. That is why we will continue to hold on to the truth, speak the truth as much as we can. This sermon is necessary, beloved. A nation does not collapse first with bullets, it collapses first with lies. Because of so much lies in the contraption called Nigeria, we will not be silent. We continue to fight and make sure that we bring out the truth and nothing but the truth. Before violence, there is deception. Before chaos, there is confusion. Before bloodshed, there is identity manipulation. That is why we are calling the attention of the world to pay attention. And you that is in that contraption called Nigeria, whoever you are, wherever you are, don't think you are exempted. It can happen to you any minute. We just saw what happened to Chimamanda recently. She never believed that she will be portion. That will be part of her. She never believed that will be her portion. Nobody's praying for such. But as long as Nigeria continues to function the way it is, it will definitely get everybody. No matter how rich you are, no matter how connected you are, no matter how popular you are, Nigeria will happen to you when it will happen to you. Chimamanda never believed that she would lose her son because of the failed state called Nigeria, the failed system called Nigeria. And it happened to her. That is why we speak, we talk with every opportunity that we have. Before violence, there is deception. Before chaos, there is always confusion. Before bloodshed, there is identity manipulation. And these things today are present in Nigeria. Deception was what brought the violence you are seeing in Nigeria today. The chaos you see in Nigeria today is brought about by the confusion created by the government. And the bloodshed you are seeing today, that you will continue to see, that is about to happen more and more, is being triggered by identity manipulation, which the government is carrying out today. This identity manipulation is something that we must pay attention to. Don't play. If you joke with it, it will joke with you. What we are witnessing today in Nigeria is not accidental. It is deliberate, calculated, and state-sponsored confusion. That is what you are seeing in Nigeria. You didn't hear me well. What we are witnessing today in Nigeria is not accidental, not by accident. It is deliberate, calculated, and state-sponsored confusion. That is the way to describe what is happening in Nigeria today. When government can no longer govern with justice, they govern with labels. They can label you anything, they can give you any title, and that is it. We are talking about identity manipulation because identity manipulation is the latest instrument that is being used against the population. Identity manipulation. Don't joke with it. If you don't pay attention to this identity manipulation, you'll be consumed with it. That will be the end of everything. The bloodshed that is going to be happening because of the identity manipulation is going to be enormous. Pay attention to the identity manipulation that is going on in Nigeria today. Identity manipulation is when natural human differences, faith, culture, language, history are rebranded, distorted, or weaponized to achieve political control. Did you get my definition? I will take it again. Pay close attention. We are talking about identity manipulation. And identity manipulation can be defined as when natural human differences, faith, culture, language, history are rebranded, distorted, or weaponized to achieve political control. That is called identity manipulation. And that is what is happening in Nigeria today. That is what is going on in Nigeria today. This identity manipulation happens when history is rewritten. You can see the way people are rewriting history. On TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, people everywhere here, the government, individuals, they are rewriting history by all means, telling stories that never existed. Culture is being diluted on a daily basis. Faith is politicized. And people are reclassified for convenience. The reclassification of people is what is happening in Nigeria today. That is why you are hearing the term Igbo Muslim community, Fulani Christian community. Something that is not real. Only manipulation. Calculated to reclassify the people for convenience. For convenience. That is why you are seeing this latest propaganda of Igbo Muslim community. I will not talk much of that. I will not talk less of that because it is a very big crisis at hand that we must talk about. This is not unity. This history rewriting, culture diluted, faith politicized, a people really classified for convenience is not for unity. It is not for unity. This is for engineering, for manipulation. That is what it's all about. And the danger of this false labeling, the danger of these manipulations, beloved, hear this clearly. Terms pushed today as Igbo Muslim or Fulani Christians are not organic. They are not organic cultural evolutions. Never. They are political constructs. A clear political construct that must be paid attention to. They have no deep historic roots. They have no cultural foundation. And they have no organic communal origin. I am talking about Igbo Muslim and Fulani Christians. When you hear those terms, Igbo Muslim or Fulani Christians, those terms are not organic. They are not organic cultural evolution, not at all. They are just political construct. There is no deep historic roots, no deep historical roots about anything called Igbo Muslim or Fulani Christian. No. There is no cultural foundation, none whatsoever, that has to do with Igbo Muslim or Fulani Christian. There is no organic communal origin of anything called Igbo Muslim or Fulani Christian. It doesn't exist. They are administrative label, not lived identities. This is not lived identity. When I say lived identity, this is not a life that exists that people are living. It is just an administrative labeling to achieve some aim. they decide to label some people Igbo Muslim, Fulani Christian, for administrative labels. It is not a lived identity. It is not. Faith is personal. Culture is communal. History is collective. Don't you ever forget this. This is how you can be able to checkmate these lies that the government of Nigeria presents. You cannot rebrand a people like a product. You cannot just wake up and rebrand a people like product, just as they are trying to rebrand the Igbos. Igbo Muslim community. Rebrand the Fulanis, Fulani Christian community. That is not organic. It is just an administrative labeling. It is not lived identity. It doesn't exist. And that is why we have to call attention for this confusion that is being created by the government to manipulate and to remove the pressure on the evil they are committing against their people. For those of us who are Christians, I want you to pay attention very well. History does not need propaganda. The Bible tells us in Proverbs 22:28, the Bible says, for those of us who are Christians, if you are a Christian, check your Bible. Proverbs 22:28, it says, remove not the ancient landmark which thy father have set. This is what the Bible said. Remove not the ancient landmark which thy father have set. This word was also in the Bible. And that is how wonderful the Bible is. That is why the Igbos did not find it difficult to embrace Christianity. Igbos did not find it difficult to embrace Christianity because of the reality in it. It is much more real than you can ever imagine to other things. Proverbs 22:28, it says, remove not the ancient landmark which thy father has set. Why? Because when landmarks are removed, confusion entered the land. That was why that comment was made in the Bible. When landmarks are removed, confusion enters the land. Today, Nigeria Caliphate, Nigerian terrorist government is removing every single landmark of the indigenous people in order to set confusion. That is why they begin to rebrand people like products. They want to begin to rebrand us like products. And they call us Igbo Muslim community, Fulani Christian community. That is not organic. That is not lived anywhere. Nigeria's problem is not diversity. Nigerian problem is tampering with the truth. Tampering with the truth. The problem is not just diversity, but tampering with the truth. When history is blurred, people lose direction. When identity is politicized, neighbors become enemies. And that is what is playing out in the Zoological Republic. Faith should never serve power. Beloved, let us be very clear. Faith is meant to liberate the soul, not to imprison the mind. Like you see in Nigeria, they use faith to imprison the mind of the people to do their bidding, either as a Christian or a Muslim. Use to imprison the mind of the people is very common in Nigeria today, whether Christian faith, traditional faith, Muslim faith. When politicians borrow religion language It is not to save soul, it is to control population. Definitely. When government sponsored identity confusion, it is not to promote unity, it is to weaken resistance. A confused people are easy to rule. That is why today the confusion in Nigeria cannot even allow them to speak in one voice, making it easy for the tyrants, the cabals to continue to rule, the Janjaweed, the caliphate to continue to rule. Divide and rule is not godly. Divide and rule is not godly. From Genesis to Revelation, we learn one truth. God does not rule by confusion. The Bible says it in 1 Corinthians 14:33. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. Chukwu Okike Abiama is not the author of confusion, but the author of peace. If confusion is growing, ask a question. Who benefits from confusion? Whenever you see so much confusion, ask a question. Who benefits from the confusion? Very important question to ask. And until you can be able to answer that question innocently from your heart, you will continue to get confused. You will continue to get it wrong. So we must continue to do things right and do it the way it should be. Do not allow anybody to confuse you. Do not allow anyone to distract you. Do not allow anyone to deceive you. We must not accept deception of any kind of any sort. If people are being relabeled, ask who gains power. Just they are trying to relabel us and trying to create their Igbo modern society in their family. God unites by truth. Chukwu Okike Abiama unites people by truth. Empires divide by deception. That is what you are saying in Nigeria. Division by deception. This is a very dangerous strategy. Very, very dangerous. Identity manipulation. Identity manipulation is very dangerous. That is why I am talking about it, preaching about it every blessed day, and I will continue to preach about it. Identity manipulation. It leads to suspicion instead of trust. Identity manipulation leads to suspicion instead of trust. Labels instead of understanding. Conflict instead of cooperation. Once people stop seeing each other as neighbors and start seeing each other as categories, violence becomes easier to justify. And that is the case of the zoo. This is how nations slide into chaos, while leaders pretend to preach unity. They can continue to pretend. But you must not be deceived wherever you are. Do not be deceived. Don't be deceived. Don't allow anyone to deceive you. We must not fall victim or buy into the identity manipulation in Nigeria. Because identity manipulation leads to suspicion instead of trust. Labels instead of understanding. Conflict instead of cooperation. Once people stop seeing each other as neighbors and start seeing each other as categories, violence becomes easier to justify. Truth, facts. Every one of us must rise up and do what we have to do by paying attention. Beloved, nations do not survive on labels. They survive on values. Nations survive on values. Values like justice, accountability, truth, consent, human dignity. No amount of rebranding can replace justice. No amount of slogan can replace truth. Never. It doesn't matter how you try to do it, you cannot. If you believe truth must come before politics, faith must not be abused, history must not be discarded, history must be respected, then you must speak. Speak from your own corner. Like and share this video. Let it get to somebody and let the person know what is going on. And write on the comment section, truth over manufactured identity. Type it on the comment section. Truth over manufactured identity. We cannot accept this identity manipulation that they are pushing forward. Silence does not protect peace. Silence protects lies. That is why we must not be silent. We must speak. Speak. Speak and speak again anytime you can. Beloved, I want you to hear this as we are trying to round up and give chance to our Supreme Leader Mazen Nandekano to speak. You cannot rebuild anything on deception. You cannot build peace on confusion. You cannot build a nation on lies. Truth must be uncomfortable, but it is the only foundation that lasts. Let Nigeria return to truth. Let faith return to conscience. Let identity return to history. We must say no to identity manipulation in Nigeria by the federal government of Nigeria. Truth has history. Lies need propaganda. Values over manufactured identity. Light over confusion. May wisdom return to our land. May courage return to our people. We must not give way to the manipulation of the enemies. We must not give way to the manipulation of the evil ones. We must not allow their evil plan and tricks to work. My fellow dear friends, we are going to go back and hear some messages from our Supreme Leader Mazen Nandekano. Some of the important messages that he has delivered in the past. As he always knows, in every evening programs, we invite him to join us on the broadcast. Every evening broadcast, we give space for Mazen Nandekano to join us and speak to the Biafran people. This evening, just like every other evening, you will be listening to our Supreme Leader, Mazen Nandekano. In one of the amazing messages he preached, so that we can learn again from him. We will learn from him, every one of us. So Chukwu Okakabiam, who is the author and finisher of our faith, will direct and lead us aright. Let us pay attention to what our Supreme Leader Mazen Nandekano has for us.
I welcome you. I use the word we because it is not just me. There are millions of people working very hard all over the world to ensure that these very efforts we're making to restore Biafra comes to fruition in our time. The time now is approximately 6 minutes past 7 p.m. in the land of Biafra, and the same number of minutes past the top of the hour, regardless of where you are. We are the only people emanating from Africa that is being listened to across the entire 24 time zones on this very planet. Millions listen to us right all over the world. If you have joined me on my Facebook page, you should be able to see me live. Those listening via Radio Biafra, you will hear my voice, but you cannot see me. The same thing applies to those who are listening via FM in the land of Biafra, those who are listening via satellite across the whole of Africa and Middle East, and those of you who are listening through Radio Biafra app, and indeed tuning Sweet Radio, Garden Radio, and Simple Radio. I welcome you, and as I do so, I will seriously encourage you to welcome all those who are around you, your friends, your family, your relatives, because tonight's program is going to be something slightly different. If before we finish we have not heard that relationships are being terminated, that people are taking their own lives, then insofar as I don't want anyone to take their life, but this very evening is going to be remarkable because we have promised to preach this very gospel of truth, this very gospel of restoration, and that is what we are here to do, and that is what we are going to accomplish in our time. Those that came before us did not understand the meaning of consistency and resilience. That is what IPUB provides. And that is why, regardless of the machinations of the enemy, regardless of what our detractors try to do, we are zeroing in on the ruins of Asorok, and with it, the inevitable precipitous collapse of this. Elohim is in charge, of course. And before we go any further, we must worship him. But before we do so and give thanks to the Almighty in heaven, I must tell you that my name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. I am the director of Radio Biafra, director of Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of Elohim, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra, we are under oath to speak the truth always, even if it leads to our death. We are also under oath to restore Biafra, or we die doing so. And as I keep saying, and with permission from heaven, I can confidently declare that should we fail to usher in Biafra this year, it is no longer God's fault. It is ours. That is why we must do everything we can, humanly possible, to ensure that Biafra is restored as quickly as possible, because the zoo is empty, absolutely empty. And today we have come to do justice to the mess that it has become. We must therefore hand over our proceedings to the Most High, and in so doing, invite the Spirit of Heaven to take charge of what we are doing here today, because it is beautiful. And we must pray in the language of heaven, of course. Chineke na nke pụrụ ihe niile, Chukwu okike abịa bụ onye mmụọ na mmadụ na-efu. Onye ike niile dị n'ọbara aka ya. Onye mmụọ na mmadụ na-efe. Ọ bụ naanị gị bụ okike. Mmalite ọgwụgwụ bụ nke naanị gị. Ọ bụla dị na ndị mmụọ ozi na-abụ oche eze gị okirikiri eze ube dị ngozi. Ha wee na-acha gị mma, wee na-eto gị, wee na-akpụ isi ala nye gị. Ọ bụla dị ndị okenye oru 2 na 4 bụ ndị na-atụ mkpọ ọlaedo wee na-asị na ịdị nsọ Chineke. Ha sị na ịdị nsọ Chineke. Ha sị na ịdị nsọ Chineke. Lekwa ka ebube gị si wee sachie ihe Chineke bụ ekere gị. N'ihi na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye kere ihe niile nke mmadụ dị ndụ na-ahụ anya, ma nke ọ na-apụghị ịhụ anya, mana onye kere gị. ọ bụ ya mere ndị Igbo ji wee na-etu ha na-akpọghị ọka aka. Ọ bụ naanị gị bụ ọka ome. Ntụkwasị obi anyị niile bụ n'obi anyị niile bụ n'ebe nọ na nke ekpere dị ngọzi. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị ka ikwuru amara gị n'ọbụ nke ịhụ na gị na ekpere gị ngọzi nke bụji wele na ndị n'ihi na ọ bụ mmadụ ka anyị nọ na nke ekpere dị ngọzi. Anyị enweghị iche ọzọ ewezụga anyị. Anyị anaghị efe arụsị. Anyị anaghị akpụ isi ala wee nye ihe ọbụla mmadụ nwaanyị gbara akwụ na nke ekpere dị ngọzi. Ọ bụ naanị gị ka anyị na-efe. N'ihi na ndị ọbụla pụtara ife gị ezi ekpere dị ngọzi ga-efe gị n'ime mmụọ na eziokwu. Ha sịrị bụ nkatụ egwu mmadụ ọbụla. Onye nwe na Chineke nna nke igwe ka isi wee nọnyere ndị Igbo wee gọzie ha ka ọgbọ nke ugbu a si wee na-arịọ gị onye nwe nna Chineke nna bụ n'igwe na anyị apụghị ife ndị ekpere ekwensị bụ usu Naijiria. Anyị ga-etigheta asụsụ n'ụzọ ndị Igbo wee kpọọ kuo oge ezi ebube dị ngọzi ka amara gị na ekpere gị wee jupụta n'ime ndụ anyị ka o si wee jupụta n'ihe na-eke oge oge eke na nke ekpere dị ngọzi n'ihi na ọ bụ ọrụ aka ka mkpara igwe na-egosi egwe na-etukwusi n'ibe nke ndị agha. Anyanwụ na kpakpando na-erubere gị isi. Ọnwa na isi ala nye gị. Ọ bụ ọnọdụ nyere aka nọ n'ụlọ ụbọchị nketa na nke ekpere dị ngọzi egwe na-arụ ugwu na akụkụ gị na-aja gị mma. Na-asị gị dịkọba ka egwe masị ozi nsọ nke gị n'ụwa niile. Ụwa niile na-ege ntị na nke ekpere dị ngọzi. Ka ọ ga-abụ dị ikpete mazị mgbe ebi enye anyị bịa na nke ekpere. Anyị ga-akpụ isi ala wee na-egwe gọzie gị wee jaa gị mma maka oyi site n'ebighị ma ruo n'ebighị. Ise ise ise. We must preach this very gospel, and as we do so, we must do it in truth and in every honesty. This very day we have come to do justice to the decaying, dying zoological republic. If you don't have your pen and paper, you are doing yourself a great deal of disservice. Go and get your pen and paper, and as I've always said, wherever Alamagri is gender with our book, you bring your slate and you bring your chalk. As we delve into the depth of analysis and the philosophical postulates, I would expect you to be mastering your alphabets from A to Z. Because had a majority of those in the northern part of the zoo been sensible, had our Yoruba brethren in the West been slightly brave with the grace that God has given them to be here, we won't be where we are today. But the zoo is a mess. Anybody who is unfortunate to be part of the zoo is now a laughing stock all over the world. Mankind is laughing at us. And the sooner we bring the miserable existence of the zoo to an end, the better for everybody. The better for everybody. And that's what we're here to see. You must pay attention. Very close attention. It is very, very critical that you pay attention. I will take off my glasses and I will have a sip of water before we proceed. We are living through an era of Fulani infamy. Never in the history of governance. The last time what is happening now in the zoo ever occurred in the annals of history was in Spain in the Dark Ages. I did not say the age of it, I said in the Dark Ages. There's a man called El Cid. The Spanish were fighting the Arabs, the Moors. He was a great warrior. He led Spain into battle. He won famous victories over the Arabians, over the Moors. Some of you don't know that the reason why Italians have black hair is basically the Latinos, which is Portugal, Spain, and Italy. The reason why they have black hair is because they are a mixture of Europeans and Arabs. That's why they have black hair, unlike the Swedish, the Germans, and the rest of them. The Arabs were there for nearly 400 years. And when it was time to push the Arabs out, Spain raised the hero, his name is El Cid. The Arabs called him El Cid, E-L space C-I-D. There was a very famous movie by that name, starring Charleston Heston, if you know him. A very famous Hollywood actor. I recommend you go and watch it. That is exactly what the Fulanis are doing. You know what happened? El Cid died in battle. He had an arrow shot through his heart. He died. And when they brought him back to the castle, the wife said that he must rise and ride with the king the next day. He was dead. Why did it? Was because if the Arabs know that El Cid is coming to battle, they will become weakened and the Spanish can overrun them. In order to maintain that myth, El Cid that was dead was propped up on his horse, his armor put on him, and he rode into battle. A dead man on a horse riding into battle. So that when the Arabs saw his flag, his banner, and his armor, they fled. And the Spanish won the war because of the fear of a dead man. That is what the Fulanis are doing. I recommend after this program you go and look for the movie and watch El Cid. It was a Hollywood blockbuster in those days. We are living through an era of Fulani infamy, an era of shame and of disgrace, an era where a little boy, barely 30 years old, can be brought out of broad daylight, not hidden. They didn't even discuss it this time around to try and get a better mask to put on him, at least to try to convince, or should I say deceive, they're going to go 200 million. That Buhari is alive. They shamelessly brought out this boy, put him in front of the camera, and television stations, those who claim they are learned, those who claim they're educated, they all sat there watching the charade, watching this disgrace unfold before the whole world. None of them felt any shame, no trepidation, because people are now living through a culture of unprecedented impunity. They do anything they like and they can get away with it. And that is why what is happening is happening. And when I was actually going through the whole nonsense as it was playing out, it occurred to me, rather very sadly, that Africans and the black race in particular is a deficit on this very earth. I said this evening, I'm not going to compromise. I am going to tell you the truth. You may not like it, but I won't preach it all the same. An 80-year-old man in broad daylight became a 30-year-old, not even 40, 30 years old. Everybody saw it. And I know that what is giving some people comfort is that body double is not a new thing. It's been existing in history. In every political era, they've had body doubles. I understand that as credit and not give me on social media. And you want me to build a country with you. How is that possible? Do you see how that's not going to work? Do you understand it now? You want me to be in the same country with Fulani? The same people that a president died in office. Instead of Osubajo to take over, they said no. They started hiring little boys for Aisha to be sleeping with her. Little kids. You want me to be in the same country with you? How is that possible? When the basis of a relationship is just false and lies. If you love Nigeria as you claim, the caliphate, the jungle, you should have allowed the Osubajo to take over. So, next time you bring an elderly young man, maybe like Amuwa, to contest and to run, so you will not die in office. And you are cursed. Some Fulani, you are cursed. You don't know this. You check a room on you are cursed. Anybody who goes into a rock will die there. I'm telling you now. Once you're Fulani, if you go into a rock as a president, you will die in that very place. Try it. I've been saying it for very many years. Some of you don't understand. You believe in building relationships based on falsehood, on lies. I don't believe in it. And when somebody tells you the truth, you cannot comprehend it. You don't understand. I am a black person. I am from Africa. I am a Biafran. So when I condemn black people, I am also condemning myself. Do you know why? When I go back and I think about it, I try to become a better person. I try to be that thing that the devil has planted into every black person in the world. How many pastors do you have? When you go to church or you go to carry night, ask your pastor, all of you in the so-called zoo, Nigeria, go and ask your pastor or the imams in the mosque, because they are claiming they're holding a holy book. In the mosque, go and ask them. Why can't you speak out against what is happening? You're a man of God. Men of God and women of God, so to speak, should speak the truth always. That's why you're a man of God. Why is it that you're there in your palatial mansion in Abuja or in Lagos with money and tithes people gave you, hoping you take them to heaven, to the path of truth, and you saw impunity happening, and you kept all the big pastors of Winners Chapel, of Redeem, and all of the rest of them, synagogue, mountain on the fire, fire in the valley, fire in upstairs, fire in downstairs. You claim you're worshiping God through Christ. Christ epitomized truthfulness. All of you. Christ was epitomized truthfulness. You are climbing the pulpit. You are seeing evil. What concerns you is tithe and offering. And you think you go to heaven. None of them will go to, nobody, none of them, Pentecostal, I said none of them. But those two of bleaching cream. Oh my God, none of them will make heaven. They are evil. Christ was honest. Told the Pharisees and the Sadducees what he saw to be bad. Went to the house of God, the temple of Solomon, and drove away profiteers, the changing one. What matters to you is tithe and offering. There is abomination happening. I don't know if you kept quiet. Abomination. And you claim you're a man of God. If I meet all of you should pray, I don't meet any of you anywhere. Be it airport or anywhere I meet any of you criminal Pentecostal, God will punish you. People are evil. You are evil. I feel sorry for the fools you deceive. People are evil. You are in a country of 200 million. They are being held hostage. There is no head of state. People are being slaughtered every day. Every day people are dying because there is vacuum in Ashraf. Nobody is there. That is the reason why. There is no leadership. Have you been into a house before? In a family where there is no father figure, where nobody is in charge, no father, no mother, and see what the children are doing. It's a simple experiment. Experiment that all of you can do tonight, not tomorrow morning. Now, this night you can do it. I want you to take your wives away from the house, leave the kids. Not that say, my children are coming home. By the time you come back, your house will be upside down. Because dad is not there, mom is not there. Nobody to tell them, stop doing what you do. Something is happening in Nigeria. You have 7 terrorist groups, seven of them, 7 terror groups. And there is no head of state. There is no vice head of state, deputy, or should I say vice president. There is no chief of army staff. What do you expect those terrorists to do? They'll go to markets now. They'll do anything they like. That is why you have killings everywhere. And nobody has a clue as to how to stop it. But these liars and deceivers, imams and pastors, those that claim they are elders and politicians, elder statesmen, to tell you how evil they are. They understand the problem. Any day you have a president, a physical living president inside us, things will change. That is why all over the world, when institutions or companies are drifting, you change CEO. You change. Ordinary football, and some of you love, I think they've resumed. Barcelona defeated, I don't know who the beat is, 4-0. Why do you think they sack their managers? When you are not performing, you'll be removed. Why do you think people vote every 4 years? It's like a report card to see if you've done well or not done well, to renew your mandate or not to renew your mandate. But in this case, somebody died in office. Dead, or someone who is dead. Instead of coming to people and saying, oh, this man is no longer there, what do? People are dying. Instead, you're holding on to it. You want to steal money. You want to deplete the treasury. You want to spread Islam, jihad, by force. And people are dying because there is no president. And you know it. All of you know it. But you keep pretending, lying. You bring the man, let's go to Matthew chapter 6 verse 7. Bring your tithe. That's what you know. A man of God, you have aircraft, you have everything. You cannot speak the truth. How do you expect me to respect you? You are a deceiver, you're a liar. In the US, all of you will be jailed. All of you go to jail. All of you will go to prison. But that is men of God in Africa. Black men, black misogyny, black evil. Now you can understand why the white man painted blacks black. Because of our evil nature. Evil nature inside us. And you want God to help you. You want God to save you? You are a hypocrite. An abundant hypocrite you are. All of you are hypocrites. Black people are hypocrites. They don't believe in the truth. They have never seen the truth and embrace it. Never. Nobody has, from Igbo land, even WIC, all of them, Ohanese, Pandef, no one has ever come to say, what is happening today? You predicted it many years ago. We are sorry. It's called magnanimity. They don't have it in them. Instead, you see them conniving, planning, talking rubbish every blessed day. You see grown-up men gossiping. That is what makes you black, and that is why you're backwards in Africa. Africans must know this. It is your nature. It is your wickedness and stupidity inside you. That is why whites are killing you. You are evil. You are evil. In a country of 200 million people. Not 1 million, not 200 million. A group of people are holding everybody hostage. And instead of those with the sword of truth, which is journalism in Yoruba, to rise up and say evil is evil. A whole nation of Yoruba, they went into the cocoon, waiting for their turn to the trade. And you want me to respect you? I think you're mad, because I can't respect you. You are an evil person. You did not speak the truth because it is your turn in 3 years' time. And you want me to respect you as a human being. How is that possible? How? Just tell me how. It is not and can never be. Never ever be. That's something that you need to understand. That is something that we're telling the whole world this very thing. That blacks are evil. That is the truth. Whites are listening, and I'm telling you the truth. Before God and man, we are evil. Black people are evil. 200 million people. And they brought a little boy to show you, and you all should be always like that. It's not Buhari. Now we know it's not Buhari. We think Buhari is no more there. This is bad. And tomorrow you say the same rubbish. Next week the same nonsense. To rise up and take action, you cannot. If you see those who are rising up to take action, you begin to mock them that they are stupid. Because they're a black person. Everything that is good turns into bad. Everything bad turns into good. That is the brain of a black person. That is the way we reason, that is the way we think, that is the way we act. We are backwards because of how we reason. We are evil because of what is in our brain. I feel sorry for you, people. I feel sorry for all of you. But I can tell you the truth. Somebody wrote that Aisha Buhari is going mad. Mama and Dara called her a suicide bomber in the leaked audio tape. A suicide bomber. And I'm asking people today, can't you see that war is coming? Can't you see that men are going to die? Can't you see that terrorism flourishes where there is lawlessness? Can't you see that terrorism also grows anywhere there is vacuum in leadership? Are you not aware of that? Are you no longer students of history? You can't take it everywhere in the world. Right now in Nigeria, there is no president, there is no government. What you have is a gang of criminals. Anybody can get up one morning and say, oh, I'm controlling INEC. I don't like you. You didn't give me enough money in your first term. I'm removing you now, and they will remove you. What concerns me is not recycling all these problems. What I kept thinking about is, why is it that black people don't never act to make what is wrong right? I am asking black people, why don't you act on your conviction to say that this thing is wrong? I remember the Yoruba girl. I don't know what her name is. I don't want to make her popular. That went as the people that were fact checking what I was saying about Jubilee were all Yoruba. Because people told them, don't make anything go wrong. We see our turn. 2023. That's the big girl the man was talking about. Today, she's no longer talking about Mr. Buhari and Nnamdi Kanu, what he's saying. Have you now seen it? I'm always right. It's not arrogance. I am always right because anything actually is correct. Heaven, ask the family of Usman, they will tell you. Usman, did your aunt not die in Arawoja? Estate in Kenya? Yes or no? Ask him now. Were you not in Banana Island when you left Asarok? Are you in Asarok? Are you in Asarok and they're shooting gun inside us? Are you there? This is a vice president of 200 million people. You can't find him. Never to be found. They call us terrorists. I want to let people understand the wickedness and evil of a black man. That is what I want to preach tonight. That blacks are evil. Because whites are listening. Black people in Africa are evil. Now, IPB was banned, proscribed, never killed anybody, never picked up arms. All of you are dancing and celebrating, especially the media. But you went to school. You are a good Christian. You are a born-again Christian. Some of you are Muslims. You travel to Mecca to do Hajj. You believe in the word of God. You believe in the word of God. And you know that God can never side anything that is wrong. But all of you that go to church, that go to your mosque, even in Igbo land, with organizing and the government, what happened? They said you must ban IP. That is a black man thing. Proscribe IPOB, tag them terrorist group. But not ISIS, not Yeti Allah. These are murderers on a daily basis they kill. On a daily basis they kill. Nobody has ever said, come and prescribe them. But anytime they see a common family, they say, oh, you're prescribed, be prescribed. If you see where Yoruba, and Igbo journalists as well, they proscribe, they outlawed IPOB because they are evil. Not outlawed the ATLA, there is a stakeholder in Nigeria. No! It's IPOB that is evil. They never killed anyone. But asking for freedom for all of us. It's a black man. That's how it is. So, whites are not racist. You heard me right. Even the man that killed George Floyd is not a racist. Because racism doesn't exist. Racism also is like darkness, doesn't exist. Racism is your stupidity. People are showing you how stupid you are. And you call it racism. They are showing you how intellectually impotent you are. And you call it racism. If Africa was good, what would blacks be doing in America? I've never thought about that before. If Africa is good, what would blacks be doing in America? They will just start coming back. Because we are not well. Black people are not well in the brain. And you know the funniest thing is that for you to go and seek medical help, you must acknowledge that you are sick. For you to wake up in the morning to go see a doctor, you must say to yourself, today I'm not feeling very well to go see a doctor. The thing about the mental stupidity of black people is this. Most of you don't know you're sick in the brain. That is as an insult. You're insulting me. Yeah? Because over the years, people have written, they have spoken. You don't want to learn. You don't want to change. To the point whereby a woman, why that kind of a woman, a young woman, I'm putting on Aisha, a young woman, I love her. put her lover in front of national TV. And all of you are clapping. And you're telling me you are normal. I'm telling you, you're an animal. You are a big fool. Very big one. Very big one. I must tell you. Because the zoo is collapsing. And you watch and see. You watch and see. Why do we find it difficult to act on our conviction? It was because I lamented a few days ago. That was why the senior advocates of Nigeria, for the first time, since they started the persecution of innocent people, they're now saying, let me tell you what the legal profession is now saying in Nigeria. 21 years of democracy, there is no rule of law. It's now that you know there's no rule of law. When they charged me to court for nothing, I told you I committed no crime. Some of you sit there going, oh God, thank him. He wants to bring trouble in the politics. He wants to destabilize the politics. But now, what are the bandits doing? What are the kidnappers doing? What are the terrorists doing in the north? Who are they? Where did they come from? They didn't come to destabilize the politics. Oh no, they brought the blessing of Allah. They brought Allah's blessing to Nigeria. These are people of the Christian. Why are they talking now? Because I said it a few days ago. Because I lambasted them. If you have brain, I'm telling you, if you are simulated, I'm telling you tonight, by tomorrow you will be a different person altogether in your life. And you see the changes you make. The most difficult thing for a black man to admit is that we are racially inferior. Why are we inferior? Because of how we process information in our brain. That's all. The processing of information in the brain of a black man is defective. That is why we are not able to act on our conviction. That is why morally a black man is bankrupt all over the world. If you are not bankrupt morally, why would an entire Yoruba race be waiting for 2023? And the meanwhile, there is fraud going on. Open fraud going on. You have elders, you have clergymen, you have intellectuals, and all of you are sitting back because of only 8 years of governance. You mortgage your and you want me to respect you. You must be insane. I can't. That was what happened with Jonas and Mahanese. For very many years, they were selling their future and all of their children. And people said enough is enough. We said, oh, you're insulting elders. I said, any elder that will be that age and selling his children should be hanged, not to insult them. His neck should be cut off. Only in Africa, if somebody is old and you're being stupid, you're a pedophile, molesting little girls. Oh, no, nobody says his uncle. See people everywhere. Today, or should I say yesterday, there were gunshots in the presidency. I asked this question last week. Where in the world have you seen fire outbreak in a presidential villa before? Now, gunshots. And do you know what really shocks me as a human being? Is the very frequent way that so-called Nigerians feel these issues. In other words, your education system is defective. I think that the biggest culprit is the education system in this zoo. They train you to be animals. They don't train you to be human beings. Gunshots in the presidency. Anywhere else in the world, the Senate will convene an emergency session to investigate. And during the course of the investigation, will be discovered that there's nobody there. But everybody's in on it. Once you give them money to buy a house in Dubai or invest in China for themselves and their families, you've made their life. They can tolerate any evil. Any evil goes. Gunshot inside that rock. What caused it is pathetic. Who knows that there is no Buhari? After this incident, who knows there is no Buhari there? Your wife was nearly shot there. And you are like, even as an ordinary person, you're not a president, your wife narrowly escaped being shot. What will you do as a man? I'm asking you a question. All the signs are there that there is no Buhari. But everybody is burying their heads in shame. Do you know why? Because they are black people. They don't act on their conditions. They only support evil. That is why Africa is poor. That is why we are being killed. There is nothing called racism. That is why year after year, you will not hear that a Singaporean was killed, a Malaysian was killed in the West. You won't hear that a South Korean was killed. Ever. Or a Russian was killed. Never. Only blacks. Have you ever asked yourself why? No, you don't. Hey, it's racism. They hate blacks. It's because you are foolish. It's because God punished you with stupidity, because God looked in your heart and knew you are evil. I'll prove it to you now, this night. Do you know why? I'll give you an example. That God in heaven gives everybody the same chance. Same chance. Now, I have a question to ask you. What justification does the Yorubas have? I said, what justification do they have in supporting this fraud going on? An entire nation of over 60 million. Ask yourself why. Is this Satan that is doing it? Remember, they have doctors, they have lawyers, they have pastors, they have imams, they have everything. Intellectuals, they have it. But ask yourself, why is it that Yorubas are supporting the evil, the satanic, the work of Lucifer going on in this world? Is it the fault of the white man? Is it the fault of the British? I'm asking a simple question. Why would 70 million people be programmed in their brain as cheating in their brain? They have been programmed to cheat. Cheating is in their brain. Because if you're seeing evil happening and you're waiting for 2023, it means you're a bad person. Some of them are sick. So you wait for 2023 to go to hospital? I'm asking you a question. Are you waiting to go to 2023 and go to hospital in 2023? No. Gunshots in Asoro. Aisha came out. You know that very daft. You're telling me that Buhari is inside Asoro. Now listen to this story. Buhari is inside Asoro. There was gunshot inside Asoro. Aisha ran out with the Aisha, Zara, Yusuf, and Zidane Abdanawa. They are so foolish. When they plan all this, their lives, they don't plan it very well. They forgot to mention Buhari. That Buhari also came out. Instead of saying the president was not touched. So when your wife ran out, your kids ran out. But you, the man that gave birth to the kids, you stayed inside. Hey, Africa, who did this to you? Black, this shows you black people. Black. Very, very deadly. Very, very deadly. They proscribed IPOB. They said we're a terrorist group. But today, giant and weed are slaughtering that your place is killing you. They killed somebody yesterday in a good day. Nobody's saying prescribe them. Nah, it's IPOB they want to prescribe. That's black people for you. We say black. Satan is in them. So when a white man draws a black man as Lucifer, the white man is correct. I support him. You people are evil. We wait. You are evil. Tomorrow, everything is a kind Bible. What am I thinking God? We serve talking rubbish, nonsense from your useless mouth. Rubbish. Do you think I mock God? Do you think I mock God in heaven? Is that what you think? An entire nation, Yoruba nation, disgracefully, because of only 8 years in office, you jettison your morals, no conviction, nothing. That means you're a nation of criminals. Your brain is full of thievery. If not, why won't you speak up or speak out against evil? You're waiting for it's cheating, isn't it? Oh, dear Lord, have mercy. Have mercy on our people. Have mercy on us. Have mercy on us. Why is it that we find it difficult to reason? A a woman is head of state in an Islamic country. Nigeria is OIC, is a member of Islamic nations. It's an abomination in Islam. For a woman to be in charge, it's an abomination. Unelected. I don't mind. I'm a Biafran. Anybody can be the head of state in Biafra. If black women will even like women to rule Biafra, not men. I'm being honest with you. In Islam, I told you that when I'm actually, I told you, why did I tell you this? The woman is the head of state in Islam. And do you know why that one they call it Tunde? He's not Tunde, he's a Fulani man. He's a Fulani man, the son of Mama and Dawa. He's a Fulani, not Tunde. When they say Tunde, you think he's just like I'm Afri Roti. You think he's a Yoruba boy? No. You know why he ran away from Aisha? Because if he dies on the orders of the woman, when he goes to heaven, he do not give him his 72 virgins. His 72 Arab virgins waiting for him in heaven. That was why he ran away from Aisha. That is the truth, and you know it. The president is alive, gunshot inside where he's living. He didn't come out with his wife and children to investigate. And all of you, 200 million idiots, complete morons. You are there. You looking sheepishly like a bunch of white. In fact, a hyena better than you. Why do I even? If I want to interact, that is why I don't go to parties. I don't do anything because the way we reason is laughing. If I want to interact, have two Africans. I go to wildlife safari park. At least if I see a zebra and a chimpanzee, those are our two Africans. We can mingle together. Maybe I can understand them better. Because at least if they see danger, they can run. All of you see danger and keep embracing it. Keep embracing it. Look at Igbo State. Coming for the Igbo State. Over 5 million. Somebody came forth in an election. They pushed him to number 1. Everybody is just like this. Even some bishops want to go and congratulate him. Some people say, hey, don't touch him. He's our man. Let's move him forward. These are black people. Very backward. Useless. When they kill in America, he said, hey, it's racism. Racism. You are a fool. That's not like racism. They are killing you because of your natural stupidity. By nature, you are stupid as a black person. Do you have running water? Without maybe solar charger and generator, will you be watching me now? Are you not ashamed of yourselves? Are you not ashamed? But UNN has the engineering department, electrical engineering, electrical and electricals, all our office. Uniport has it. Unibank has it. Everywhere. Electrical and electrical engineering. Whatever that one means, I don't know. No, electrical and electronics. That is not right. The reason why they sent you to school to go and study electrical engineering is so that when you come out, there will be no more power shortage in the village. That's the reason why. So you don't know. Hey, along me, a bunch of monkeys. So you think you studied electrical, is it to electronics and electrical to come out and be pushing wheelbarrow, driving again a bed. Black, disgrace, black. You play a disgrace on this earth. I think maybe God made a mistake raising black people. It's a disgrace. I am curing you your disease. Now I'm going to your disease, cleansing of your brain. So can it. You have seen how Yoruba is learned 70 million. All of them in a state of fraud, a fraudulent state. Yes, who are we going to teach now? Who are we going to teach now? And people are dying. What concerns you is ordinary election 2023. People are dying. It's only in Africa I can see an entire nation wrapped in fraud. Everybody has the mindset of who do I cheat? Who am I going to cheat now? Who am I going to cheat now? If not, why won't you come out and say that Buhari is dead? Why not? Do you know in that 2017, had the Yoruba media taken up the campaign that I started, by now, Osibajo would be the president and there won't be all these killings everywhere. So every Christian that have died all these years is as a result of Yoruba duplicity. You don't expect Hausa to do anything. Hausa doesn't exist. Fulani have in fact, they don't exist. Have you heard me mention Hausa as a political force? No, they don't exist. It's only Fulani and Yoruba. And I'm asking Yoruba, do you think if Osibajo is there, people will be dying? Osibajo is a gentleman. He's a man of the law. He won't allow it. He would have done it. Osibajo can never allow it. But I'm asking you now, what have you benefited in all the people that have died? All because you want to be the president in 2023. And you commissioned the Yoruba race, as great as they are, mighty, their empire was huge, all the way to that. A once proud race, a race of warriors and conquerors, reduced them to this, waiting for 3 more years to get into power, and impunity is happening. And you go to church and you call the name of God with your Bible. Thunder will kill all of you. You people are evil. Evil. Check it on our country. Entire nation, wrapped in fraud. They have given, as you're growing up, they're infusing fraud into you, into your brain. How do I cheat the Biafran? How do I cheat an evil man? That is all that they come, that is all they live for. At the end of the day, have I cheated an evil man today? That is the pinnacle of your achievement. That is making you ask this. You are living the life of a parasite, a life of a liar and a deceiver. I want God to bless you. You want God to bless you. How is that possible, I ask? Do you think you can mock God? Or because of your earthly wealth, you got from it just you cannot reason very well? The heaven you're promising them, can you guarantee it? The answer is no. Do you know where heaven is? You don't know who I am. One of our aunts said that we are burning bridges. We are burning bridges. I will burn every bridge, including the one that I'm standing on. If I'm stupid, I will set it in my life myself. If I'm a stupid black man by now, I will take overdose and I will kill myself. I hate stupidity. You see, cowardice and stupidity, I cannot stand those two things. I can't stand them. You must be bold and be brave and speak the truth and damn the consequences. Damn it. That is why the zoo is crumbling and people are going. You can't even complain. Gunshot, a woman in a Sharia country, a woman is head of state in Sharia. After all, then they have to have Sharia states, you know. They are the owners of the zoo called Nigeria. How come Aisha is reading all of you? Don't you know that she's the one in charge? Go and listen to that clip again. Those who are Sahara reporters of telephone conversation. Then you will know. It was in December, to tell you how cold they are. Do you remember a few weeks ago when the report of the speech of Jubril leaked? Do you remember? Do you know that the person responsible for that speech leaking has been killed? I want you to go to Google it. Asorok, Assistant Director of Administration, assassinated, killed in Abuja because she leaked the speech. She was killed in broad daylight. Killed, assassinated. And her name is Miss Leticia Daga. Killed inside Nigeria. Killed inside Abuja. Killed, assassinated. Assassinated, killed. Some of you don't even know. Remember when Femi Adesina was writing, is the height of this, the person who leaked it. Every head of state in the world have had their speech leaked at one time or the other. Leaking of this doesn't anything. But because of that, she stayed with her life. You Some of you don't even know. And here, what I'm telling you now. Is that the type of country you want to be in? And I want to ask you, Yoruba Pentecostal pastors, because they will a lot of influence. I want to ask you, Yoruba pastors, is this the type of country you want to be in? That somebody just be mere accusation it resulted in her summary execution in cold blood. They didn't go to court to try her. She was killed. And you're asking me to be a Nigerian. Is it the type of Nigerian I want to be in? Her name is Letitia Dagan, Dagan. Assassinated. She walked in the presidential villa. And I'm asking those telling me about one Nigeria, is this the type of country you want me to be in? Not killed by a bandit, not a terrorist, no, killed killed by the presidency itself, the head of state. And I ask you, is this the type of country you want me to belong to? You and I, we'll be messing ourselves up. Is this the one Nigeria? And I'm asking you, those of you that want us to be together, is this how countries are run? You chased away your vice president. Ran away in Lagos. I don't know if they have found him now or not. Because they will kill him. Once they get rid of him, they will kill him. What I'm telling you are confirmed reports. Because the book said, somebody said to me, oh, but you said that Osibajo is dead. I said, yes, I said it. They said, but why? But why? I said, because he is missing, presumed dead. Oh, but why are you saying it? I said, because if you go missing today, and I suspect that the police or the army are people holding you, I will go to court and I will file a complaint called habeas corpus, which means produce the dead body. Do you understand? That's what we do. We are learned. We have brain. Do you now understand it? After Osibajo was cited, after our intelligence gathered, he was cited in Arojo. His trail went cold. And the reason why they are not complaining in Yoruba land is because everybody is looking for Tiflu in 2023, an entire nation. That is the reason for not claiming their mandate. But we are going to shock them. We are going to shock them. That I can assure you. PDP came out and was expressing shock. And I just spoke. Asked the police to release this person you arrested for firing a shot. Police said no. And this is supposedly the wife of the most powerful man in the country. She didn't go to her husband to ask for the release of her aide. No. She went to the police direct, tweeted it. If you don't know that Buhari is dead, then may the good Lord have mercy upon you, stupid, foolish, axel. I'm telling you, because the whole thing is becoming annoying. Very, very annoying. Very, very annoying. And we must preach this very gospel. We must preach it. The presidency now issued a statement. Listen very carefully, please. The presidency wishes to acknowledge concerns, presidency, not the president, wishes to acknowledge concerns expressed by several members of the public regarding the incident about the occupants of the villa. Hey, this is to assure all of you and everyone that the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Muhammadu Buhari, is not and was not at any time in any form of danger arising either from deadly infections or the reported incident. Nobody asked for the coronavirus. This is how Fulani. This is how bad they are. They were talking about firing of a firearm, so to speak, firing a gun in Arsenal. They asked him to issue a statement. Instead of him to say that the president is okay and he will address us, he said, and he did not contract the coronavirus. Hey, let me ask those who are watching. Black people, who did this to you? Who did this? Is it Satan that did it or was it God? Who did this to you? They asked him, there was an incident, a discharge of firearms inside House of Villa. What happened? He said the president is okay. He's not injured, and he's not suffering from coronavirus. Hey, shoot. Black people. They want to assure everyone is okay, but the man cannot speak. Stand by, the man cannot speak. So you don't even love. Anywhere in the world, they will say, bring our president, we want to see him to make sure he's alive. But one statement, and it's okay. Because Yoruba media, they are just massaging all of you. Apart from Boko Haram and the Fulani Christian, Yoruba media is the worst set of people on the face of the planet. The worst of the worst. The very worst. Before God and before man. And I hope you listen to me and they change. Because they will get their comments. They will get it. I told them, write it down. One day, Fulani will take Yoruba land. Fulani will take Yoruba land. They will take it. They will take it. In broad daylight, they will take it. From Yoruba. You will see. Write it down. I am behind a microphone. I am speaking because I'm ordained to speak the truth. Before it will happen, I will tell you what will happen in 5 years' time with accuracy. Deadly accuracy. And I'm telling you that Fulani will take Yoruba land. Mark it somewhere. Because their evil is too much. The whole nation, you're waiting for 2023. The truth is there. Is that little one editorial from a Yoruba paper and the whole thing unravels. They're waiting for 2023. Baba said he will give us money in 2023. I mean, I want to buy a house in London. I'm waiting to 2023. Jagaban will begin. We go begin the job now. And on Sunday, you take the Bible and you go to church. Or you go to mosque. And you bow before God. And say, God, I'm your servant. But you're waiting for 3 years of deceit and lies. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And as they are campaigning now have come to I'm just giving you preamble. I have come to today's program. I have now come to today's program. It's about racism. And the reason why God created us black. And the meaning of the word black. And the reason why I told you before that Democrats are not awesome in America. They're not good people. Anybody who comes and tells you now, the kind of this thing that he's doing, he is not good, or he's insulting people, and other, the person is your enemy. Doesn't want you to die. I am trying to shock you into reason, into coming out of your evil, wicked, black African ways to embrace the light. I'm the one who loves you. Not these mad people. I want to show you something so you will understand what is happening. People can now begin to appreciate the depth of idiocy in the zoo. The depth of the idiocy in the zoo. I want to make it very. Where is it? Where is this Joe Biden? Remember, some people said that Joe Biden is a good man. Yes? In fact, I think they have removed the clip. They've removed it. Joe Biden of Democrats, a hardened racist. I told you about the Democratic Party. Forget all that black lives and that. They are the big racists. Republicans are your friends. Do you know why? Republicans will tell you what I'm telling you. Because they want you to change. It was Republicans that ended slavery, not Democrats. Do you know who the slave owners were in America? Democrats. They proved it. I'll find it. And I want that video to be posted, please. I want the video of what's his name? Joe Biden. The killing of black people in America by the police. Joe Biden introduced legislation. Democratic Party. You know, black people, we like massaging. If you have a wound now, instead of going and dressing the wound properly, maybe, having a surgery or conducting a surgery on it, you want them to put bandage, a very colorful bandage on it, but inside you're rotting inside. That is the problem with our people. And we are curing it tonight. And I will not have all this nonsense you are getting from your brain. Now listen to this. What is the Latin word for black? And now I want Nigerians. This we have now come to the main point. I want Nigerians to be looking at their green, white, green flag. Wherever you are, if you're in Abuja, if you're in Lagos, if you're in Kaduna, bring your green, white, green flag closer. We are about to do a very simple experiment, please. What is the Latin word for black? I want you to Google. As I'm Googling, please try and do something. What is the Latin word for black? Simply go to Google and Google it, please. And we are doing good. It's interactive now. We want to do everything together like one happy family. So I am writing. What is the Latin meaning of the word? We're live of the word black. I'm sorry, you can see from that text up. What's Latin meaning of the word? And that we what people, most commentators don't appreciate about Africa, and which most Africans debate, sort of comfortable with, is that somebody coming from Europe and without regard for your culture, your traditions, your way of life, saying you are now in one country and your name is Nigeria. Right. There is something unnatural about it. Yes. I said to the British government, if you had come, conquered my people, which is a natural human process, that is, so it's a natural. Right. If you had come, conquered our people, made us English, I can live with that. Yeah. But to come and hand over a children of God over to something completely alien. Have in mind, who are they trying to describe? That's enough the adjective to qualify to describe something. What is it? Hey, now you're in for a shock. That is the problem with our people. And we are curing it tonight. And I will not have all this nonsense you are getting from your brain. Now listen to this. What is the Latin word for black? And now I want Nigerians. This we have now come to the main point. I want Nigerians to be looking at their green, white, green flag. Wherever you are, if you're in Abuja, if you're in Lagos, if you're in Kaduna, bring your green, white, green flag closer. We are about to do a very simple experiment, please. What is the Latin word for black? I want you to Google. As I'm Googling, please try and do something. What is the Latin word for black? Simply go to Google and Google it, please. And we are doing good. It's interactive now. We want to do everything together like one happy family. So I am writing. What is the Latin meaning of the word? We're live of the word black. I'm sorry, you can see from what that text up. What's Latin meaning of the word black? What's the Latin meaning of the word black? Black. What is it? Go to your Google and you put it in. We are live and interactive. We have come to the stage whereby if Facebook doesn't shut me down now, they'll not shut it down again. If right now, go and Google the meaning of the word black. The Latin meaning of the word black. And bring your Nigerian flag closer. Bring it close. To tell you where your stupidity started from. What is black? In Latin, it means nigger, negros, or the adjective is nigger. What is that? to tell you why you are black in Africa, all of us. And I want to prove to you that the name Nigeria is cursed. And then after tonight's program, you see need and reason why Nigeria should not exist. I'm not going to add anything to this. I want to do something. I want to read comments. Somebody should tell me I'm reading. If I move to the left, it means I'm checking Radio Biafra. If I'm here, direct, it is my page on Facebook Live. I want somebody to tell me the Latin, Google it, the Latin meaning of the word black. Do you know what it means? It means Negro. Number one, the adjective is nigger or Niger. If you think it's Niger State, Niger, Niger, Nigeria. Latin meaning of the word black. Then we proceed. What does it mean? Those who brought the word black, this Negro and Niger, Nigeria, what did they have in mind? Who are they trying to describe? That's the meaning of the adjective, to qualify, to describe something. What is it? Hey, now you're in for a shock. The name Nigeria. It means black, black, we know. It means something that is dark, we know. It means something that is ill omen, bad luck, ill omen. So Nigeria is bad luck, not me. Oh. Go to Google. Who are these people? Who are these people? I have not seen anything here. I have not seen anything here. Somebody is saying I shouldn't talk about Democrats in America. See how foolish people are. That election is pregnant. Black people always afraid to speak. Joe Biden is a racist. We have it on record. Forget all the nonsense in South Africa you're saying about Hamanite. He is a gun racist. I have it here. And we'll find this kind of place. Go to Google now. Go to Google and find the meaning of the word black. Nobody can say, but they listen to me or not. It means Negro. It means Niger. Niger State. Capital Mina. Niger Republic in French. Nigeria. Area of black, useless people. And what does it mean? It means ill omened. It means Nigeria means pitch black. Nigeria means unlucky. The people that coined the word black and called you nigger, Nigeria. So a name that is banned in America, Negro, is what you're answering in Nigeria. Did you see your mind? You say, hey, I'm an intellectual, I'm a professor. Those IPOB, they are miscreants. I have 4 degrees from Princeton, from Harvard. Do you know the meaning of your name is ill omen? Omen. Ill. Do you know that your name is unlucky? Do you know that? That you are a nigger. You're a Negro. Nigger. And I'm proud to be a Nigerian. That is why if you come here in Nigeria, God, Satan will punish you upon the punishment you have. Check up all of thunder will fire you. All of you refer to us in Nigeria, and God, all the devil will punish you and punish your family. Ill omen, unlucky, nigger, Negro. That's your name. And then the white man gave to you. And then you're fighting very hard to maintain. Do you see how foolish you are? I say Nigeria. Do you see how foolish you are? Your name means, it's here now, unlucky. It means black, gloomy. It means dismal. Something that is dismal. Hey, obscure, you cannot see it. There is no light. It's obscure. That's the meaning of the word Nigeria. I'm giving it to you now, live and direct. Something you will not hear anywhere else in the world. Here you hear it. Hey! Now, nigger area. Who named you Nigeria? The racist. What is Niger State? It means unlucky, ill-omened, gloomy, dismal, obscure. I'm from Niger State. We Niger State indigenous. Do you see why blacks are useless? We are useless. God knows we are useless. Blacks are useless. Useless to the core. Nigeria. Look at Niger. They named you Niger Republic for French, Nigeria for English. And I ask you, you that say you're from South or Niger Delta, I don't want to go there. Dear. I want to ask those of you from Ogomosho, in Grabala, or from Ijebuode. That is Niger Republic, which means Niger, up near Sudan. You are Nigerian from Ogomosho. Are you related by blood? How come? Are you witnessing your stupidity live and direct? Do you see how foolish you are when you call yourself a Nigerian? Do you see how daft you are? You are unlucky. You are ill-omened. You are dismal. You are gloomy. That is your name. And you expect never to give you light. When your name is darkness, you want never to give you light. Hey, Chineke me, unbelievable. What is the origin of the word black? Who originated it? It's from Europe now. It's from Europe. And then let us look at what white means. Dear me, it means purity, clean, pure, radiant. And what does the everything is there, you can see it. What in the Bible that we have, in the Bible that what's their name? Adeboye is stealing, bleeding you dry from. Facebook has come. I told you. From 25,000, we have now gone to, they've taken away 900 people, which means 9,000 people. I told you. There is no way. We cannot remain like this and feel it is impossible. They can't allow it. But we continue to preach. Continue to preach. Hey, dear me. What does it mean in Christianity? Black is the color of mourning. What does it mean? It means mourning. Black. Somebody should type it in Google, please, and publish it for the world to see. What is the meaning of, listen, Google meaning of the color black in the Bible. In the Bible, what is the meaning of nigger? This Nigeria, your answer. That's what we're getting at. Because if you agree that black is a Negro, nigger, what does the Bible tell you about Nigeria? Now you see, we're not going to be a bit spiritual. What does the Bible tell you about Nigeria? I'm about to tell you. The Bible says that Nigeria is a place that lacks brightness, that is no light. It does not reflect any light back, which means all they do is to take in from people. They don't do anything. The same way we're consuming a toothpick, toothbrush, everything we import is in the Bible. It's here. I'm reading it now. I googled it and it is here. The meaning of the color black in the Bible. So Nigeria means in the Bible a place that is backward. No light. They consume everything. Even the cause of the name Nigeria is in the Bible itself. But if you go to church now, they only take you to where you pay your tithe, you sow your seed, you water your plant. But on radio, therefore, will tell you the truth. I told you after today, your life will never be the same. I'm asking you to go and check it out. You get astonished. You get astonished. That is how the world flows. So you're in Nigeria now. How many of you, after this night in Nigeria? I said, how many of you are Nigerians? I'm asking you. How many of you are? The zoo cannot think critically. They cannot reason. They say, I said, I will be arrogant. I went to school, I'm educated, I'm refined. If I stand in a debate, I will demolish you within 2 minutes. Complete deconstruction in 2 minutes. I will obliterate you with facts and figures. If you're intelligent, let us go and have a debate. Come lively and finish you completely. Go. You didn't go to school. I want to challenge somebody who's educated. How is that possible? You went to school and you read with lantern and Balaka. You used Balaka to read. And they gave you a third-rate law degree and you come out and take a challenge me. Completely insane. We are live and we are direct and the whole world is listening. We are educating ourselves today to tell you how bad a black person is evil. Embodiment of evil. A black man is evil. I'm going to prove it to you. So that if you survive tonight, by tomorrow, you'll be a changed person. Your life will be way better than it is tonight. That is what we are praying for. And that's exactly what we are going to get. I want somebody to there's something called the psychology of black. Something called the psychology of black. I want somebody to Google it. The color psychology of black. The color psychology of black. Hey, Zoo is in trouble. We are dealing with Nigeria. The color psychology of black. Oh, dear me. Unbelievable. Black is often used as a symbol of menace or evil. Black is for death and mourning. So when Boko Haram are killing you, you're just feeling what the whole world, because you are the name that you answer. How many people come out today to answer Jezebel? A simple example. How many people will name their daughter as Jezebel? I'm asking you a simple question. Will you name your daughter Jezebel? No. But you call yourselves Nigerians nigger, a condemned word, a name that doesn't resonate. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. Of course, Facebook, they are doing their job now. I thought they went to sleep. They are not doing their job. They are now doing their job because the whole world is listening. The whole world is listening. And because white people radiate light, he hates you. That is why you answer hate the light of God. You need light to be able to see. If you're in darkness, pitch black, you cannot see. And that is what is happening in Nigeria. People cannot see. They cannot see that light. And here we make you try to see the light. Very, very important. One of the greatest rulers in the history of Belgium is King Leopold II. King Leopold. He went to do a lot of job for them in Congo. And to an extent, I think he may have succeeded in Congo, colonized the place. But today, they are pulling the statues down in Antwerp, in Bruges. Everywhere they find the statue, they're taking it down. His family is still ruling. I want to let you understand how white people is. I said the family of Leopold is still ruling. It's a royal family that's still ruling Belgium today. His should I say, his great grandchildren are in charge. No, not great. His grandchildren are in charge of Belgium. King Leopold. Yet, white Belgians went and destroyed his statues because they have conscience. Something that blacks don't have. Something the Yoruba race don't have and may never have in their existence. It takes courage and conviction to have the presence of mind to confront evil. Nobody has been able to tell me why a nation of 70 million people, because of 8 years of political power, will sit idly by and the impunity will be happening on a daily basis. Nobody can tell me. In Belgium, despite their colorful history, despite the fact that the grandchildren of this man are still on the throne of Belgium, ordinary white people went out and destroyed it. That is of courage and conviction. And here, that is what we believe. But not Abacha has a stadium. Abacha has a stadium. Remember that. By Clark is an influential man in Nigeria. There was a traitor. He sold his own land for money, and he was rewarded with the chairman of bankers. His father was a traitor during the war. He was rewarded with an as a chairman. Are you surprised? That is why they're killing us, that they cannot compare the cancer. Can't you see? And I will analyze his letter later on. Here, see, I have it here. Later you go to the that boy. That was why when the British came, they saw the light in Biafra. They saw it. And they said that you have no history, as I told you before. And I want everybody to go to Google again, because we are lecturing today, and type in the word Sambatyon. I want to teach you something this very day that will shock even our enemies. Go to Google and you type in this word, please. Sambatyon. It's called Sambatyon. It's called the Sambatyon River. I give Elohim praise. Sambatyon River. Go and, as I'm reading it, I want you to read it, please. Sambatyon River. I told you everything I tell you is gospel from heaven. I don't add anything of mine. As I'm giving the message from heaven, I give it to you. Let people make up the Biafran people. The whole of Biafra. Forget all these other names. The whole of Biafra. The Igbo people. The house of God. And his nephews. Ephraim and Manasseh. Are you listening to me? There are the ancient people who were there. The first wave of migrants came from Egypt. The second wave came from Samaria. One came from Egypt, Sudan, Niger, Yoruba land, into Igbo land. First wave, the house of God. The house of Ephraim and Manasseh came through Egypt, came through Djibouti, went through the upper lands of Ethiopia, came into the Afar region of Ethiopia, proceeded to the Central African Republic we know today, into Cameroon, and into Biafra land. The third and the final wave that came. Clearly could make up the land of Biafra. 3. And when I say that Biafrans are Israelites or Hebrew, not all of it. I've told you this before, so there'll be no confusion. I want you to go and type in Sambatyon. Some spell it Sambatyon. S for sugar, A for apple, M for mother, B for Bravo, A for apple, T for tango, I for India, O for Oscar, and N for November. You can find the Sambatyon and read it. Oh, dear me. In the earliest literature, where do I begin What is Sambation? It is the mythical river. It is the mythical river. Oh God. A river of stone. A river of stone that took Jews to every part of the world. There was a man that wrote many centuries ago. Many centuries ago. Unbelievable. This is shocking. Shocking. I'm telling you. The river Sambation flowed beyond the rivers of Abyssinia. Remember when I told you about the Afar region and I told you about Biafra? Biafra, yes, and Biafra. This man is saying that the exact place that we located on the map as to have Biafra in it during the migration was where this very river was located. And these are Jewish scholars of note. Josephus, Pliny the Elder. These people we are writing in the ancient days. In ancient days. Even an Arabian, his name is Abraham Abulafia. And this same river was mentioned in 2 Kings as well in the Bible. The river that flowed beyond the rivers of Abyssinia. And where is Abyssinia? Is Ethiopia. If you go beyond Ethiopia, it becomes the kingdom of Biafra. It's here. I didn't write it. Everything we tell you is gospel. Everything we tell you is gospel. Absolute gospel. Some people don't understand, they don't listen very well. But here it is. Go and research it. Sambation is an assignment. Go and read it. Then you will understand the miracle that Elohim is doing in our lives. You must understand it. They say you have no history. I don't know that the British discovered something they never wanted anybody to see. They said your name is now Nigeria. It means gloomy. It means dark. It means evil. Oh dear. They said that the most credible account is that given by a Jewish writer and traveler. He's the most credible. His name is Eldad the Danite, you know, the tribe of Dan. In his letter to the Jews in Spain in the year 883 AD, he said, "Who are we? The children of light. The children of light." There's something I want to play for you. There is something that I wish to play for you that the whole world may understand it. To know who we are. To know why we are agitating for Biafra. To tell the so-called misguided, foolish elders that cannot see, that are not learned, to let them understand why we do what we do. They know nothing. That is why we are the way we are. They know nothing. I want to show you something. Listen. Listen.
This is a very...
No, it has gone. It has. Oh my goodness, it has gone. I will try to play it from here. Listen. Biafra is not a call for war.
lost that money. We're not fighting it. We know what we're doing. There is nothing anybody can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I need them to understand that we've crossed the Rubicon, the point of no return. There is nothing anybody can do. If I'm alive, if I'm dead, if I'm wherever I may be. Yes, sir. If I'm dead, it's a little better, but we come far more quicker. I assure you. If Biafra is fighting for, for your property, if you're fighting alone, you're bound to lose it. So Biafra is the first. We will become the 16th member country record. If Nigeria doesn't release those properties, then we'll take them to court and we'll get them back. Even for the value. The Jews had investments all over the world. Most of the priceless artifacts and paintings belong to the family in Germany. It was stolen by the Nazi Party. Do you know that? Eventually they got everything back with compensation and so forth. That's what we're going to do. If you don't have investment, we'll come back to you. And we know we can get it from you. So there is nothing for anyone to worry about. It's only if you are not stopping you from being a Nigerian, if you are born on the streets of Lagos and you want to be a Goshen and your name is Adama,